Well, functional foods is basically a food that has an impact on your body when you consume it. So we think all fruits and vegetables are functional foods because they all have been proven scientifically to do multiple things to your body. You know, the Mediterranean diet has been studied for years and years and years. It's basically just eating a ton of fruits and vegetables, and there's a lot of science behind what that does to you. So in its simplest form, anything that adds value to your body is a functional food. Here at Joyist, we also go beyond that and include things like reishi mushroom, for example, which is not a typically consumed food, but which has been scientifically proven to boost immune cell functioning, for example. So any food with a specific purpose, essentially. One of the functional foods that we like to talk about a lot is our coffee with benefits. So we take traditional latte drinks made with organic ingredients, organic espresso, organic whole milk, or other alternative organic and unsweetened milks, and we boost them with flavorings that we make in-house and then specific functional foods. So we have different boosts that you can choose to put into your coffee based on how you're feeling that day. So we have a boost called I Feel Sick, which is roots and mushrooms that boost immune functioning. We have a boost called I Feel Stressed, which are things like ashwagandha and CBD oil, which have been proven to help with anxiety. We have things called I Feel Tired, that includes something like chaga mushroom, which is shown to boost endurance in athletes. And then just a daily dose, which are our four favorite boosts, all in one. And we like mixing them into coffee for two specific reasons. One is they're best when they're taken every day. They're most effective, and coffee is something that most people drink every day. And also, many roots and mushrooms don't taste good. So coffee is one of the few vehicles that can mask a lot of that sort of root-like flavor, kind of earthy flavor, especially when we add some of our house-made flavorings and milks. So my background technically is in marketing and marketing strategy, and I did that for nearly 20 years in New York City at various agencies and consultancies. But from a hobby perspective, I've always been someone who's really into food and the impact food has on your body and eating healthy. And that sort of got more intense when I had children and I started worrying about what they were putting into their body, everything from the lotions they were putting onto their skin to the types of food they were eating and how that would affect their growth and development. My son in particular is very sensitive to what he eats, and if he eats unhealthy, his behavior will be affected. And so I started to see that correlation one-to-one, basically. And as I got more and more into it, and my kids started to get older, and I had a second child, we moved out to the suburbs from the city, and I just wasn't finding the kind of healthy food that I wanted here. So I decided to leave my career in marketing and figure out how to run a restaurant, which has been a steep learning curve, to say the least. We changed the name for two major reasons. One sort of an internal reason and one external. So the first reason is that when we opened as an organic juice bar. To me, as someone coming from the city, very active in this space, who frequented a lot of organic juice bars in the city, that meant to me more than juice. It meant to me, healthy salads and foods and sometimes noodle dishes and soups and snacks. But to me, juice bar was a phrase that meant sort of the highest echelon of wellness food. What we learned when we came to the suburbs is juice bar doesn't mean that to everyone. When you have places like Jamba Juice and other places that serve juice that aren't necessarily that healthy or that only carry juice. And so the brand meaning I had tried to convey didn't quite translate to this market. And as a result, as we continue to expand our menu beyond juices and smoothies to things like, warm grain salads and soups and toasts, people weren't expecting that from a place with the word juice in its name. So that's when we learned that we had to basically shift and rebrand to be broader for the concept we had started to create. The second, much more rational reason is as we're starting to grow, I spoke to a trademark lawyer who said you have to make up a word if you want to own a trademark. If you ever think you're going to grow to multiple states and to the size you want to grow, you have to create a derived word. So my middle name is Joy. and so is my mom's and my daughter's. And we really wanted to incorporate that into our brand, and to give people the sense that eating healthy can be joyful and not some sort of deprivation or not some sort of forcing yourself to eat gross things. And so the choice to be a joyist, be someone that opts into eating healthy for the joy of it, is what we wanted to convey. What I love to do is build brands. That's where my passion is. Brands that do good for the world, offer something positive to the world like healthy food. I'm not really interested in building a brand that does negative, but that's what I want to do. And so everything we've done here, from paying for commercially licensed music to investing heavily into our logo, is built for growth. That's what we're looking to do. We see many downtown areas in suburbs of major cities that don't have this kind of food. And you have this huge exodus of millennials leaving the cities, moving to these sort of downtown, walkable suburban areas, which is a huge population shift that's happening right now. And just leaving behind all of the kind of food they used to eat in the city, and the suburbs just hasn't caught up yet. So our vision is to find these specific commuter hubs outside major cities that don't have a concept like this and grow into them. We tried a lot of different things. We've been working on making our own milks in-house and making our own sauces in-house. We have a wonderful chef, Alyssa, who has created almost everything for us. And it was just a lot of months of experimentation. We didn't want to introduce coffee with benefits until we felt that it was something that tasted good, because there's always a small segment of the population that will eat healthy things that taste bad. But that's not really who we're after. We'll get those people anyway. We're healthy enough for them. But healthy food doesn't have to taste bad. There's so many wonderful, delicious ingredients.